Tell me a company secret that you can share because you don't work there anymore.
Worked for a major plant that makes tortilla products. They made their own products and they made some for major brands. If you change a recipe by 1%, it's a different recipe. The only difference between the high dollar chip and the low dollar chip is what chute it falls out into a bag. They use the most rancid, nasty stuff to make what you love to eat on Sunday afternoons watching the game. They use the cheapest cooking oil and the cheapest corn that they could possibly buy. There's a huge bug and rodent infestation in these plants. They are nasty. And they made like 3 dozen different kinds of chips. Period.
Tell me a company secret that you can share because you don't work there anymore.
I used to work at Apple. I was a genius for 8 years. Let's do it. When you bring in your device for an appointment at an Apple store, if you get a good technician, within the first few minutes, sometimes less, of the appointment, we know what to do. We know how to fix it. We don't need your, albeit fake, sob stories. The liquid indicators inside of Apple devices only trigger when they have been exposed to submerged in liquid. They trip from the underside. Slight graze of water, not going to do it. Being in a steamy bathroom during a shower, not going to do it. I could probably do more. Should I do more?
Tell me a company secret that you can share because you don't work there anymore.
If you ever get a massage somewhere and you're going to leave a tip, leave the cash tip with the therapist. Because sometimes massage therapists don't get the cash tip that you left at the front. Management will claim that you never left gratuity, but I've had it happen multiple times where my gratuity just went missing. And also, sometimes management will withhold tips from a massage therapist if they haven't done specific things around the spa, which are not in their job description. So there's that.
Tell me a company secret that you can share because you don't work there anymore.
I used to work for a major manufacturing company. Everyone knows the name if I told you what it was. We made everything from tape to pharmaceutical manufacturing equipment. In our marketing space, we had a free area where products that we as employees, or in my case, I was a contractor, could bring home for free, no questions asked. A lot of the stuff was used for marketing photography, at which point we couldn't sell it. One day, someone dropped off a giant clear trash bin bag full of very nice yellow and green sponges. Might help you know what brand I'm talking about here. These sponges, I grabbed probably, 10 or 15 of them. I mean, we're talking about a bag that had hundreds in the thing. I came home and started using them. These sponges did not get stinky. Each one lasted me a minimum of 6 months. I ended up giving a bunch to my mother. And they just held up far better than everything else on the market. That would have been several years ago now. They were never introduced. They were never sold to the public. They were never branded, packaged, anything like that. They disappeared into the ether, and I'm going to guess it was probably because they lasted too long and were a bit too good for the world.
Tell me a company secret that you can share because you don't work there anymore.
My first job when I moved to California was at, we'll say it's a wing place. It's in Pacific Beach, San Diego. One of our dishwashers killed themselves by hanging themselves in the little grease trap fence behind the restaurant. We found his body the next morning. When my manager called the owner, he said to just stay open. It took hours for the cops to come and cut him down. His name was Kevin. So me and the other employees had to work with our dead friend and fellow employee hanging just a couple feet from us. Because of course we couldn't not let the drunk people in Pacific Beach have their beer and wings. Miss you, Kevin.
Tell me a company secret that you can share because you don't work there anymore.
If you buy anything on Target.com, you can return it to a local Target store, and they can't put it back on the shelves for the price that you bought it for. They have to knock it down like 75% because it's not an item sold in stores most of the time. So you can go to guest services and ask them if they have any online returns that you can dig through to see what the prices are. Most of the time, people who work in guest services get first dibs on some things, and it's always knocked down like 75%. I got my sister a plateware set that was originally like $100 for like $20.
Tell me a company secret that you can share because you don't work there anymore.
I worked at a really, really popular coffee place. Let's call it Warmucks. They come in the drinks.
Tell me a company secret that you can share because you don't work there anymore.
I have a lot. As an Abercrombie manager, we couldn't hire people who didn't meet a certain look standard. And if we did, they had to go in the back, and they were called impact workers. At Kate Spade, anytime a bag was damaged, even if it was the smallest thing, we had to go in the back and rip it up with an X-Acto knife. At Lululemon, sometimes they mark down items just because it's the last one left, so check out the clearance section. It's not always old stuff, sometimes it's just because we only had one left.
Tell me a company secret that you can share because you don't work there anymore.
Home Depot wants to be the #1 customer service company in the world. So every employee in the building has a $50 empowerment to take care of any customer service issues that come up. That's $50 that any employee can give you off of a merchandise that they don't have to go get a manager's approval for.
Tell me a company secret that you can share because you don't work there anymore.
I actually learned this while working for a different phone company, but I'm still going to share it. So if you are a customer of the red cell phone company that we will call Horizon, go to a Horizon store and ask for a paper copy of your bill to be emailed to you or printed out for you. And look at every single charge on that bill. I guarantee you will most likely find a charge labeled something along the lines of data access charge. This is an extra charge on top of the charge for your normal plan, which is supposed to include your data. But essentially what this company is doing is selling you a soda and saying, here, you have a soda now. But if you want to drink the soda, it's going to cost you an extra $20. So yeah, if you're one of their customers, look at your bill.
Tell me a company secret that you can share because you don't work there anymore.
So I was a challenge producer on season 7 of RuPaul's Drag Race. Here's my crew badge from the set. We wrote all the challenges that the queens had to do on that season. The most iconic season? You decide. But a thing a lot of people don't know, and I could probably get in a lot of trouble for this, but like whatever, is that RuPaul is actually 3 squirrels stacked on top of each other inside an enchanted wig. So do with that info what you will.
Tell me a company secret that you can share because you don't work there anymore.
So I'm sharing this information because I know it's going to help a lot of people, especially if you drive a car in the United States. I used to work in the service industry, like with all the mechanics and everything. I was a service writer for a company whose name rhymes with Sunday, but it starts with a H. And they're really committed to service and making sure all of their customers are happy. And so they're very committed to their warranty. But if you ever have something that's out of warranty, it could be anything like your radio, your engine, anything. I don't think it can be things that are aftermarket unless the dealership did it themselves. But pretty much if you're told you have this huge expense, like your timing belt breaks and you're just over 100,000 miles, they can Goodwill it. You have to ask them, please Goodwill this. If you say those words, they're going to be like, do they work for corporate? And they'll do it for free.
Tell me a company secret that you can share because you don't work there anymore.
So I used to work where they make diapers at. Not going to say a specific brand, but it's a very big brand. And inside the diapers, the part that soaks up the pee and the liquid is a mixture of a cotton-like material that comes in these big bale stacks and a super soaker material. And it's pretty much like giant bags of beads or dust or however you want to, and it forms up like snow when it gets wet. That material is actually a cancerogen to the point that in order to clean it up, we had to be respirator fit tested and wear a respirator. And I'm not talking about the little mask. I'm talking about the whole shebang with where you go to the doctor and they make sure it fits your face and they test everything because the material they're putting in diapers causes cancer.
Tell me a company secret that you can share because you don't work there anymore.
Okay, so this is for the people that like to buy name brand products. I used to work for a company called Vijon, and we bottled things like mouthwash and baby powder, alcohol, all that stuff. And so basically, when you go out and you buy something like Listerine, but then you see, say for example, you go to Walmart and you see the Equate brand, it's the same product. It's the same exact product, just put in a different bottle. So when you're buying the name brand things, you are paying extra money for the bottle it's in or for the sticker. So buy smart. And if it has compare to on it, usually you want to go with that product because it's the same as the other.
Tell me a company secret that you can share because you don't work there anymore.
So I worked at this HR technology company that recruiters use, and the first screening of a job application is usually done by AI, and it captures tokens, keywords related to the job. So if you're applying for a sales job, it's looking for selling, sales, business development, things like that. So if you fill up the white space of your resume with all of these tokens in white font, so it's not seen on your actual resume, it'll likely get picked up by the AI wave of the technology for your application because it's finding more keywords and it's giving you a better ranking. Boop.
Tell me a company secret that you can share because you don't work there anymore.
If you book your hotel room through a third party like Expedia, Booking.com, or Priceline, you are already hated by the staff. They think that you're cheap and that you'll complain, and they don't care about you, so they give you the worst room possible. Also, if you're a part of a rewards program like Marriott Rewards, Hilton Honors, and you're a chronic complainer, all of that activity that you complain about is tracked. And when you check into a hotel, you are red flagged. They already know you're a jerk and they're expecting you to complain, and then they report you. And one day you'll be kicked out of the program. So be nice.
Tell me a company secret that you can share because you don't work there anymore.
Those of you that have any AT&T products, if you have AT&T internet or cell phone, if you call in and you have issues with your bill, your rep has a quota that they have to meet every day. It might be like a $600 quota. They have $600 every day that they can dock off of your bill just for the heck of it. So if you need to escalate calls and until somebody knocks some money off your bills, go ahead, because every rep you talk to has the ability to knock hundreds off of your AT&T bill.
Tell me a company secret that you can share because you don't work there anymore.
So I worked for Subway for 9 years, and I worked at different Subways. So all of these are all the same, even if they were owned by different people. So when you're taking the bread off of the form, sometimes a loaf or two fall. Like sometimes it falls into the floor and they just tell you to put it on the pan and serve it. Onions, sometimes they fall or whatever. Just pick it up and cut it and put it into the bin. And on every shift, either you or your manager were changing dates. So something that expires today, we're going to push it back for whatever the expiration time is for that item. That way if the health department comes in, everything is in date. Subway Eat Fresh.